That might be possible, but perhaps there was another reason behind it. Keno, what race did you become after turning undead? Well, the people in the city became low-level zombies. You're nothing like them. You're intelligent and you don't look rotted. Meanwhile, I am of the Overlord race, but you did not gain a bony body like mine. I don't get it. Don't you think sorting out your race might help change the present situation? To that end, would you mind answering a few questions? Well, he did not know how far his Yggdrasil knowledge could go in this world. Learning Keno's race would probably not be a bad thing. After some questioning, he arrived at what might be the right answer. She was a vampire. However, Yggdrasil vampires look more disgusting than this, right? Or is she something like that Sheltier which Peroncino made? Or is this a vampire unique to this world? There's almost no change in her appearance before and after becoming undead, so could she be a special case? Vampires in Yggdrasil were typically frontliners, warrior types. Perhaps that was why Keno's strength had increased. However, the fact that her height was frozen like this was a major downside. Having a short reach was very disadvantageous. Maybe she should aim to be a fencer. Would it be wrong to let Keno decide how she wants to develop herself? Suzuki Satori the backliner and Keno the frontliner. This was not a bad combination. However, it was a little embarrassing to use a child as a shield. He probably would not mind it in a game like Yggdrasil. Honestly, I used to be the sort of person who wasn't bothered by seeing the corpses of street orphans, since they showed up so often that they were nothing rare, but now. Had he changed, or was he particularly interested in Keno? I'll praise this later on. Sorry to have disturbed you. You should hurry up and empty the treasury. Suzuki Satori took this time to blow the dust in the treasury around, so nobody could tell that anyone had entered. Now then, we've collected the contents of the treasury. Is there anything else you want to take along? Yes. After this, all I need are a few small items from my room. She had reverted to polite speech at some point. Satori thought, you can be more casual, you know, as he replied, I trust you understand that we will be leaving this place soon. After that, someone might come here to take everything in the castle or to destroy everything inside it. Right now, he was still unsure why the people in this city had become undead. Perhaps there was some kind of plague that turned people undead. If that was the case, the people who came here might think that burning it all down would be the best way to deal with it. Well, she had thought of that long ago. Actually hearing Suzuki Satori say it put a shocked look on Keno's face. You wouldn't want to be attacked by the undead either, right? Then it's possible that they might decide that all the undead in the city should be dead. Just as he was about to say disturbed, Suzuki Satori suddenly realized that his phrasing was too provocative, and so he changed his words. Should be eliminated. That would be the normal way of thinking, right? After all, to the living, doing so would get rid of the threat of whether or not the undead in this city would attack theirs. I get what you mean. Therefore, since you've decided to leave, I want you to be mentally prepared for this. After all, today might be the last time you see this city. For that reason, Keno, well, there's a limit to the things you can take with you. You must make sure that you don't regret the choices you make. Right now, I'm not sure whether the memories of the undead will fade away, but even if that happens, you must keep in mind the fact that you might forget this, and you must take good care of the things you want to preserve. As long as you preserve them, it'll become one of your unforgettable memories. Suzuki Satori took out a picture. It was a memorial picture that had been taken when the great underground tomb of Nazareth had still been called an underground tomb, in other words, when it had first been conquered. What he took out was a group photo of all the group's members. Yes, something that will never be forgotten. What's this? These are my friends. It's a picture we took together. Suzuki Satori could not help but smile as he heard Keno's question. Oh yes, if we have time during our journeys, I'll tell you about the adventures I had with my friends. Sure. Suzuki Satori chuckled as he heard her cheerful reply. Alright. Then go collect some things that you want to preserve as memories. Keno, unfortunately, your body will probably not grow anymore, now that you're undead, unless you're a special undead being that I've never seen before. Therefore, you should be able to wear your clothes for a long time. Sure. But should I feel happy about this? Isn't eternal youth the dream of all women? I'd be glad if I could grow a little more. Is that so? It isn't. As a man, Suzuki Satori did not quite understand. However, she might have some resistance to the idea of looking like a child and never growing again. Alright, then why don't you start by picking out clothes? Alright. I will. That said, I don't think a princess is going to have any clothes suitable for traveling. As for me, well, I obviously don't have any. In Yggdrasil, it was perfectly natural for people to walk around fully armed and armored, but given her attire and the undead he had seen in the city, in other words, ordinary civilian attire, his robe stood out too much. That being the case, he would need to change into clothes that could better blend into an ordinary town, but he did not have any unassuming ordinary garments. Even if he did, it would be weak gear with low data capacity. It might be very dangerous once he got into a fight. In other words, he needed something with acceptable defense and toughness, while still looking plain. And with Keno included, he would need 2 sets of that clothing. After checking Keno's HP values with life essence, he could tell that they were very low. She might even end up getting killed by the splash damage from an area of effect spell. That said, I don't really want to fight in battles which are big enough that she might get caught up in them. Unfortunately, Suzuki Satoru was not gifted at divination magic, and even if he could maintain a certain level of alertness with magic, he was not confident that he could protect against 100% of enemy sneak attacks. It would probably be best to just directly give her items like that. However, if he gave her a high-level item and it made others target her instead, that would be the opposite of what he wanted. There are too many things I need to think about. Maybe I should prepare 2 sets of gear, one for when we approach a town, and one for when we're traveling. No, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've got a robe of rapid gear switching. Forget it, I won't think about this for now. Let's go to your room, Keno. Alright, but this sort of thing, no, maybe I should just ask. At the risk of offending you, you're a man, aren't you, Satoru-san? But of course. Granted, I don't look the part. I'm clearly speaking with Suzuki Satoru's voice. Would you ask me a weird question like that all of a sudden? Are there women in this world with voices like this? This is kind of rude to say to a benefactor, but my room has always been forbidden to all men except my father. Ahem, that's the rule that was laid down. Oh? Suzuki Satoru was somewhat surprised. She might be a child, but she was still the princess of a country, and it would seem that these rules were quite strict. I see. Well, a rule is a rule. I'll just wait outside, then, you can handle things by yourself, right, Keno? He thought of the undead in maid uniforms inside the castle. There should have been a maid to help Keno with her daily tasks. That's not a problem either. Oh yes, as my savior, it's only natural for me to invite you into my room. No, please step inside, or would you rather not? Keno tugged on Suzuki Satoru's robe as she asked him that question. No, I've got no reason to refuse. He had only said he would not be entering Keno's room, because she had said no strangers were allowed into it. In truth, Suzuki Satoru did not mind going inside or staying outside. He used fly to reach Keno's room and followed her inside to take a look around. It was much classier than Suzuki Satoru's room, but in turn it paled in comparison to Momonga's room. However, once she opened her cabinet, he found a great deal of dresses inside. That certainly seemed like a princess's room. However, the colors and decorations were much simpler than those of Yggdrasil, or rather, Yggdrasil's clothes were much more lavish. Keno rifled through the dresses, although some had already become discolored, and then she turned her head back in Suzuki Satoru's direction to ask him a question. Which do you think is more suitable? Who was the one who had once said, which do you like better? Coming from a woman's mouth was one of the hardest questions in the world. Was it touch me? Suzuki Satoru very much wanted to say I have terrible aesthetic sense, please don't ask me. But she had asked him because she trusted him, and he owed her a serious answer. Well, I think all of them suit you very well, taking them all will be very troublesome. For instance, if there's an organization behind that undead being, they might send backup over, which would expose your presence. And we'll be heading off on a journey, so I don't think anyone's going to walk around in outfits like that, right? So that's how it is, no, is it? He did not know the common practices of this world, so all Suzuki Satoru could say was most likely. However, he felt that it was probably not too far from the truth. Also, you can't go around dressed as a member of the royal family, if you want to keep a low profile. Oh yes, Keno. I'm sorry, but a problem came to mind. Do people in other cities, or perhaps other countries, know your face? I'm not sure. Maybe someone might have an impression of me, I guess. The royals of other countries should know me. I remember there was a portrait exchange once. Is that so? Well, you should probably be careful. It has been quite a while since you became undead. In that case, it's not likely that you'll run into people like that. Alright, we'll go with that. Leaving aside the question of whether or not you should wear a dress while traveling or what we said just now, you should go collect the mementos you want to keep. In any case, if we come back after several years and nobody's cleaned the place out, we can take everything here with us. For now, just pick a few dresses that you like best, and let's go. No matter what, surely they could not keep an eye on this place for so many years.